As this digital age is increasing, the reach is broadening. Have you found a couple of common mistakes companies make when they go all in on digital only?
The way I anchor it is, we really live in an experience economy. Experience is a core differentiator. And when you go all digital, if experience is seen through the senses, sense of sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, when you're digital only, you're only activating two senses. It's hard to replicate going to your favorite restaurant or experiencing something at a concert, live event, movie theater. These experiences stimulate everything. And so the power of being able to, how do you differentiate yourself in a crowded market? As people go more and more digital and more AI, we're losing that physical touch. This is kind of where what we're seeing is physical is just becoming more relevant right now because it's what people are not doing. Direct mail is one of the most powerful channels. It is a legacy old school channel, but you're seeing this reemergence of direct mail as a powerful means to acquire customers that is so differentiated than, this age of AI that we live in. And so this is kind of where it's just sending you something just to anchor people. I think that we love that touch and that pen to paper. It's just a different modality.
Welcome to Harry Handles It, a podcast where we dive into the world of personal growth, success strategies, and everything in between. I'm your host, Harry Nalbandyan, and today we're going to chat with an incredible guest who has some amazing insights to share. Remember, no matter what life throws your way, I'm here to help you handle it. So let's get started.
Mark, welcome to the podcast this afternoon on your end. Mark Stern is a serial entrepreneur, former Deloitte strategy consultant, and the driving force behind the Custom Box Agency, which is an award-winning experiential marketing firm. Mark, welcome.
Harry, it's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and the journey that brought you to the Custom Box Agency.
I grew up in Alabama, and I was told that there was like one natural progression to life, and it's you graduate high school, you go to college, you get the job, and then you go back to grad school, and then you get the big fancy job and the house with a white picket fence, and say la vie, that is life. And I followed it to a T, and used to joke that like I was poster child of corporate America. Was president of my high school, my college, and my grad school. Got my MBA at Duke, and it was 2012 that I graduated, started working for Deloitte Consulting, and was $165,000 in student loan debt at the time, and was committed 2 years of this consulting firm, had no quality of life, because if you work for a consulting firm, you're a road warrior. And you kind of take a step back going, this can't be it. Like, this is not like this vision of a fulfilling life. And I had this entrepreneurial spirit that when you have that much student loan debt, it just felt irresponsible leaving corporate America. But it took me 6 years to make the leap from a corporate job that I thought I would be a partner and do Deloitte for life. And just had this itch that I had to scratch, and left without knowing what it would be. And where Custom Box Agency came from was when I started in the online marketing space. The thing that drove me nuts would be I'd buy these coaching programs or buy these courses, and it felt like I had to run through hoops to get started with them. They would make me print out things or buy things, and I was just like, I just wish you would send me what I needed to be set up for success. And so when I started creating products, I would send them something physical in the mail, but what I didn't expect would be getting these unboxing videos and all this organic traffic of people unboxing what I would send them. And then we started seeing results faster, and then other people started saying, how are you building out these physical boxes that go with these programs? And the rest was history. COVID happened, ended up blowing up the business I was building at the time, which is all about virtual events, and went all in on these box experiences. And, we went from 0 to $1 million in the first year. And it was just amazing just to see how the market received this quirky concept of how we're leveraging physical products to better deliver a better customer experience.
That's incredible. Tell me about what kind of customer experience the box or the experience of the unboxing is supposed to deliver. What touch points are you marketing for these people to get their custom box?
So we really say we're in the business of customer experience and really the customer journey. Box is just the vehicle for how we deliver this. So when we work with a client, I need to understand, how are you taking people? Let's take a lawyer. How are you taking them from that first interaction to getting them to take the steps you need them to take to get the most out of their settlement, if we're talking about a personal injury lawyer? So I need to understand that journey really clearly. When we work with clients, we just keep it simple. There's 3 types of campaigns we can help you build out and have Box reinforce it. Is your goal customer acquisition, or is it delivery of your products and services? So that's like onboarding to helping them get set up for that outcome, or is it retention? So customer lifecycle, you acquire, you deliver, you retain. That's the first anchor in terms of what we look for. And then from there, if your goal is, I want to have a better process for when we onboard new clients, then we're going to get into that journey, and then we're going to define out all the tools and resources that they would need in that type of experience. With our boxes, what we learn is the bigger the size of the box, the more likelihood someone's going to break it down and throw it out. So there's a lot of intentionality behind the way we start to engineer the experience. For instance, I know when you read a book, you put it on a bookshelf. So a lot of our boxes, you'll see, are designed in a way that they can fit on a bookshelf. So it's something you can easily place, revisit later on. But that's a lot of what we look at is it's not a swag box. We say swag is stuff without a goal. It's truly creating a product that's kind of taking your methodology and your genius and really making it easy step by step for your people to get through it so they can get the results faster.
And this excites me because as part of the customer journey, I feel like one thing a lot of law firms leave on the table is a little bit of that client experience, and to be able to give them something like this at a touch point, like when the case settles, when the relationship is over, for the client to keep remembering the firm and to keep remembering the services, I think would be huge value for law firms.
Front and back end. I mean, I can show you right here. This is actually a box we did for a law firm. And boxes can be any shape or size, but this is a personal injury lawyer who wanted a box experience. So when a client starts with them, how can we send them something that you can see? We broke down their process into 6 steps, which is what's on the side of the box. And literally, when this is just the journey map, but they're just like, we turned their process into a game, essentially. So as they go through, if they just follow this process, this whole thing is just follow our process and we can give you your maximum settlement. But there's just certain steps I need you to take. And through it, just by knowing where they are in the process and how we laid out this journey is power for the law firm, because then I know exactly where you are. Are you just getting started? Are you closer to the end of the process? Just knowing where they fall on that journey map allows you to be a better advisor in terms of how you work with them. So that's an example. Back end to what you just said. When they complete the journey, they incentivize them as well, because they want you to come to the office and hold a check with your settlement amount, and then they have free gifts that they give you as leave behinds as well. But when I say like we'll design and build anything, the more I understand how you're delivering, we will customize it. We built custom journals for him. There's the guide that shows you like, let me prepare you for the journey. There's just all these assets that are just to make it easy for them to know, what should I be doing next?
I love that. I just had a conversation with our team yesterday about setting up the client expectation for the journey and how most of the pain points that clients have with law firms or the service is because the expectation isn't set from the beginning and they don't really know what to expect as part of the journey. And so everybody wants the Amazon model. Everyone wants something in 2 days, 24 hours, 2 minutes, but that's just not the journey. And this is a very, very, very clever way to set that up for the clients.
I mean, another example in the law space is patent attorneys. People, when they register for a trademark, they want it instant, and they don't understand that could be a 12 to 18 month process. And so again, we've worked with lawyers to build out an experience just to set expectations. To your point, expectation setting in this game is, to me, it's everything, because this quenches, when you have this customer support or people getting frustrated as to like, why is this taking so long? Well, if I anchor on the expectation, at least when they come back and say, I'm frustrated, you can go back to where you set that expectation and say that, this is a part of the process. I totally get it. I can't speed up, USPTO to like get a decision faster for that trademark, but let me at least let you know that this is what you can expect as you start this journey with us.
As this digital age is increasing and the reach is broadening, have you found one mistake or a couple of common mistakes companies make when they go all in on digital only?
Yeah. I mean, you have to remember. So the way I anchor it is, we really live in an experience economy. Experience is a core differentiator. And when you go all digital, if experience is seen through the senses, sense of sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, when you're digital only, you're only activating 2 senses. It's hard to replicate going to your favorite restaurant or experiencing something at a concert, live event, movie theater, Disney World, Las Vegas. These experiences stimulate everything. And so the power of like being able to, how do you differentiate yourself in a crowded market? As people go more and more digital and more AI, we're losing that physical touch. This is kind of where, what we're seeing is physical is just becoming more relevant right now because it's what people are not doing. Direct mail is one of the most powerful channels. It is a legacy old school channel, but you're seeing this reemergence of direct mail as a powerful means to acquire customers that is so differentiated than, this age of AI that we live in. And so this is kind of where it's just sending you something just to anchor people. I think that we love that touch and that pen to paper. It's just a different modality.
That's a very interesting take on it. And that resonates because that experience, the touching, it's more than just the phone call that you have with the attorney team or the support team. It's giving you something tangible to ideally drive the firm's brand image to the client and consumer directly. It's not just, the pieces of paper they get in the mail saying, "Hey, we're your lawyers." What do you put in the boxes?
Yeah, it's so for us a standard box, and I can use this as an example just to show you. Any box that we do, things that I want to see. I want to see a welcome note that's just, it re-anchors like this experience that you're about to go through. Sometimes we highlight what's in the box in the back. I always like to see a getting started guide. So this is kind of where, and if you see like how this works for this client's brand, every client look and feel is going to be very different. How we may lay out the experience may make sense for you in a different capacity than someone else. But I want something that kind of like prepares them for the journey that they're about to go on while working with you from a law firm perspective. So the guide is just a really powerful way to show them we have a process and a recipe for success. Trust the process. So welcome to Getting Started Guide, a journey map. This again, some journey maps are very simple. This is exactly how he wanted to do it. This one was designed in a way that you get badges as you get to certain milestones in the process, and you can kind of see these grayed out circles. And then what we did for him is what are the tools and resources they need to be set up for success. So in this model, as they progress through all the steps, you can see we just broke down it into envelopes. And depending on where you are, when you complete the action steps for part 1, you earn the right to open the part 2 envelope or the part 3. So we want you to feel like you're progressing through it. And just by knowing like you're in stage 3 or stage 4, that tells me as a lawyer exactly where you are in my process because I know what my process is. So that's what we look at. Welcome to Getting Started Guide, journey map, and the tools they need. This one, the client asked us, there's a lot of terms. Let's build a glossary. So we have a glossary of terms. You can see the tabs here that just help them know. They hear things. What are the terms? What does that mean? We built a weekly planner for this client because he wanted a means of like all this was originally designed for this client because he wanted a means for them to track the steps they're taken as they go through the process. He had a book. We put his book in there. And there were a lot of little pieces that we put in there to complement what he wanted. One was a coloring book for their kids. So he just wanted this to be fun. So we created a coloring book for his kids, the kids of those who are going through, the children of his clients. So there were just things that he wanted. We designed it, brought it to life. But what I care about is welcome to Getting Started Guide, journey map, and like what are the tools they need to guide them through the process. And we'll design it all. Hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah. What's an active deck and why does it flip acquisition or the idea, traditional thinking of acquisition upside down?
Is this what you're talking about? Activate deck?
Yes.
Activate deck is another box system. So this is an acquisition play. So this is what we call a delivery play. If I say 3 types of campaigns, you can acquire using box, you can deliver, or you can retain. This is deliver because this client, this lawyer, when you start working with him, gives you it as part of the onboarding process. Activate deck was designed as an acquisition play, like a front end offer, something that's a little bit more low ticket. I can give you high value that when you go through it, it opens up a new problem, which is now that I showed you, like I've given you a quick win. Now let me help you with the next step. What the Activate deck was designed to do is when I would work with clients, I'd ask them the question, walk me through the process for how people discover you to buying your products and services. And every time I would do that, it was 4 key phases that I would see. There's channels that they use for people to discover. It could be Facebook, it could be SEO, it could be speaking on stage, it could be writing a book and people read your book. Then there's ways you nurture them. So how do I build a relationship with you? Third phase is how you close them and get them into your ecosystem. And the final phase is like what you're actually delivering to them. And so what we did with the Activate deck was we leveraged cards as a modality. And just because you can lay them out in front of you, but we can take you through an exercise that says, walk me through all the channels you use currently for people to find you. So if it's paid traffic or organic traffic, you literally can leverage these cards to lay out your strategy. Now, how do you nurture them? Here are different tactics. Now, how do you close them? Here's my exact process for how we close clients to deliver whatever the product and services is. And so when you lay out the cards, the Activate deck was designed in a way that you could literally see your customer acquisition strategy. And then the online portal for each card you select just gives you additional tools and resources that help you take it to the next level. And it's been a really powerful tool because not only does it give people a vernacular to see in front of them their customer acquisition strategy or their client acquisition strategy, you may also go through it and say, what channels should I sunset that are not working? Like I've had clients go through it and say, we are currently promoting on 12 different marketing channels. And I can look at them and say, well, you're a small team. Does it make sense to continue down 12? Which channels are working well? Which ones are not? And then you can go through the other channels to say, what other channels should we consider introducing to help us grow our visibility? So that's essentially what this product was. It took a simple framework and literally leveraging cards as a modality gives them a visual way to have this brainstorming exercise around their customer acquisition strategy.
That's clever. Have you noticed any surprising marketing metrics or ROI metrics that come from these boxing campaigns? From worked with?
Lots of things. Things that we've seen. Virtual event. We've had clients report show up rates higher than 20% than they typically do for a virtual event because the box helps doing it. And then in the same events, we've seen people double their back end sales and offer because they're getting into momentum. They have everything they need to sit down for 2 or 3 days with this virtual event that they have joined, because in the post-COVID era or COVID and post-COVID, you see this rise of virtual events. It's hard to sit for 1 to 3 days watching someone talking, but if I can give you the tools you need and mail it to you before the event and you have this interactive experience, you can start to get these quick wins in the event, and any good experience is going to seed the offer on the back end. So when they make the offer, Financial Freedom 101, this box right here, these tiles behind me all represent different campaigns we launched. But she did see a double in an event that she's been running for the last 15, 20 years. Highest show up rate, doubled her back end conversions from an event she does routinely. The only metric that changed was she introduced box. We've had people launch challenges or products that doubled sales because they introduced the box component. We've had clients that have seen drops in attrition or refund rates. One of our clients sold 3,500 units at $2,000 a pop. And so it was a multi-million-dollar launch. She was like, if you want a refund, you can get a refund in the first 30 days. Just mail back your box. 19 people of 3,500 mail back their box. And so a lot of it is just like, have we truly set them up for success, and really getting into the psyche of why do people disappear? Or why do people refund? A lot of it is because they feel overwhelmed. They don't know where to begin. They blame themselves, and it's easier for me to hide and refund than to embrace it. But if I can get you in momentum because I removed obstacles and literally give you what you need, that's the power of something physical being delivered to you.
Yeah, big time. And this strategy, I've explored a lot with the firm to see how we can give our clients current and former touch points that are firm specific that they can constantly use to keep us top of mind kind of after that journey is over. Is there anything are there different categories of boxes available that will also, in addition to some of the media components that we just looked at for that journey box, for them to have swag, but purposed swag?
Yeah, totally. All I care about with swag, people joke with me because people are like, you hate swag. I'm like, I don't hate swag. I just want swag with intentionality. So if you are, we say swag means stuff without a goal. So stop sending stuff. But if it's a way to mark a moment in time or like indoctrinate them or give them a new identity, there's ways that swag can be really, really effective. And so I'm not against swag. We leverage swag and we call them jewels at times. Like I like it to be a marker to celebrate the completion of the journey. And what I mean by that is, actually I have one right here. I do Spartan races. Do you know what a Spartan race is?
Yeah.
It's a mud run. I got into them in 2015 because I saw a Groupon. It was an accident. I never should have done it. And what I loved about it is like, it was really cool to do the race, but at the end of the race, like you get the medal. And like, this is what I wanted, was like the medal you got, because this proves without a shadow of a doubt I completed the race. If I have the medal, I did the race. What Spartan did that was so brilliant was, this is a piece that, because it celebrates me in it, I can't be away with it. Like, I can't throw it out, because it truly represents a moment in time. What they did that was so brilliant was they also included on the medal a third of a wedge. And so I don't know if you've seen this in this strategy,
No.
but by having a third of a medal, they also introduced a retention play, which is, if you want to get the trifecta and complete the next medal, you have to keep playing the game. And so how they leveraged celebration of delivery of an experience, but also seeding a new journey, increases lifetime value. And you can see, like, when you have all the wedges assembled, it truly creates a brand new. And for me, like, this is a perfect example of, for me, it was about achievement. It was about achieving something I had never done before. I did a half marathon mud run. If you told me in 2015 I'd be doing that, I would have said you lost your mind. They designed a system that made me change my identity, which was really powerful. So for me, it was about a shift in belief in myself that I am capable of more than I can ever do. For them as a business, it's about lifetime value. And so they found a way that made me want to, and they incentivized me perfectly to want to give them more money or keep them top of mind. Top of mind is such a, like, we could talk all session about top of mind, but top of mind as a strategy is such a powerful strategy that physical products and leave behinds can do.
Let's talk a little bit more about that, because top of mind is big time, especially in this space where clients don't necessarily seek our services like they would like a consumer product. People need us after after something bad happens, and then they start looking for us. They may not remember your name, but they'll remember that I need a lawyer near me. How do you, in that journey, make sure that you're on top of mind for that client?
Yeah, it's a great question. Top of mind, and this is the thing with buyers, is that people don't do a good job doing due diligence to making sure that, when they need something, sometimes they hire the person that is right in front of them at that point in time. And so it was like, you may have bought the car, but you bought the car, not necessarily, you didn't really care about the dealership and whatnot. Someone put an offer in front of you in the right time. You've not done your research, but you move forward with it. And that may work in your favor. It may work against you. Top of mind, this is kind of where, like, from an acquisition standpoint, the question I would have is, what are the steps that, like, people are going through before they need a business attorney? If it's like an entrepreneur, and it may be, have you set up your LLC? Have you set up your business in the right capacity? So there could be tools and resources that I may create an acquisition product that is all about giving you the tools and resources as a new business owner. I'm just using this, if I was a lawyer, that's who I supported, and may send you something that just gives you high value that, like, doesn't necessarily cost me a lot of money to produce. Look at it as, what is your customer acquisition cost, and knowing what that is, because it may be cheaper to literally produce and send them something physical. And a lot of my physical products, my happy zone for clients is when they're between like 15 and 30 bucks. So it's not a lot of money, but if 15 to 30 bucks can translate to a client that generates $5, $10, $25, $50,000 for you, then I would be sending out things on the regular to just nurture and give value and start to position myself as your trusted mentor in a way that differentiates me from the next person. If someone starts to scout and you have like this, and again, boxes don't have to be the solution. It could be a flat mailer, but if you have a piece to say, let me just send you some free tools or resources that may help you with XYZ, you're giving value and you're nurturing before close or before they may be ready, but it's top of mind in the sense of, and again, you can engineer pieces. One of my favorite pieces to do is magnets and stickers may seem silly, but they're two of the most powerful pieces, because you put a magnet on the fridge, you put a magnet on your dry erase board or on your filing cabinet. And especially if there's a call to action and there's ways to position that, it could be a really powerful way to be in front of people all the time. And a way that you can give value even when they're not ready to hire you full time. So there's all different things you can do that don't break the bank.
Yeah.
But will keep you top of mind.
I love that. The top of mind strategy is something we've been thinking about recently. So very interesting to have that conversation now. How else would you glamify the customer journey with a box?
Yeah. And a lot of people think that I send you a box. Like, what I really want you to do is take action. And so sending you a box is one thing, but if I have a customer journey that's like, I know that people fall off and they don't do a good job getting me the inputs and insights I need. I may say, when you get to this part of the journey that I need these things, the second you do this, I'm going to send you something to celebrate you. And so it's almost like an incentive. And that could be simple, like it could be a mug, it could be a little plaque, it could be a t-shirt, it could be anything, but it's a way to celebrate them. And in that, I could also engineer feedback loops if you want to collect insights and data from people. And so this is kind of where we say, one of our frameworks that we use with clients, we call it the jewels, the tools, and the rules. Your customer is on a journey to some type of outcome. And we love to represent the outcome with something physical, a jewel. Again, this is the journey. At the end of running a race, I get a medal. It is up to us to set them up for success. And how do you do that? You give them the tools they need. This is why I love Box. Mail them what they need to be set up for success. And you set the rules. Spartan's rule was you have to start the race, complete the obstacles, and cross the finish line. And you follow the rules, you'll get the medal. If you want the trifecta medal, you got to do 2 more races of the same in the same calendar year. Rules are designed to help minimize chaos and create orderliness as they go through the journey. So that's a lot of what we look at, but it doesn't necessarily have to be, here's your box. How do I reinforce or incentivize behavior to get people to do what I need to do, or at least get them to acknowledge that they understand the steps they need to take.
Yeah.
So that's how I start to think about it. But journey is everything for us, because I can't tell you how many clients we've engaged with that I'm like, walk me through the process. And they know what the end looks like and they know what the beginning looks like, but there's just no clear pathway that shows me the recipe of how they take people from beginning to end. So that's kind of like, for me, if I know that pathway, the amount of things I could do to gamify your entire business. And when we say gamifying, it's just using gaming tactics to get people to take the actions you need to take. It's not turning your business into a video game. Any design we do needs to be in line with whatever your brand identity is, but it's just creating an experience that feels something different. It doesn't feel like this overwhelming, daunting thing I need to do. All I need you to do is whatever the next step is along the journey. And the second you do that, you're one step closer to the finish line. And I just need to get you there.
Well, awesome conversation today, Mark. Tell our viewers how they can get in touch with you, get in touch with your company, and where they can find some more information about your custom box agency.
Yeah, no, Harry, I appreciate that. Best place to go is customboxagency.com. Feel free to book a free call with our team. We'd love to learn what you're doing. For us, everything is strategy first. So this is why we love to get into your business strategy. Box is just the tool we use to take that strategy to the next level. You can look me up on LinkedIn or Facebook. Feel free to message me because we love to hear what people are doing. But customboxagency.com is easily the best place to get started.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mark. And I would love to have you on the podcast again.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today on Harry Handles It. I hope you enjoyed our conversation and found some valuable takeaways. If you're facing challenges in your own life or business, remember that you're not alone. Together, we can handle anything that comes our way. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you liked what you heard. Until next time, keep pushing forward and handling life with confidence.